Okay, things are progressing slowly but surely on the Matchless. So the gearbox is loosely in situ, and what I did was I got some Tipex on the shaft and on the sprocket, so I could check that the gearbox was actually working. So that when I turned it round and I changed gear, that the shaft and the sprocket were then going at different speeds, because it felt like if you just turned it by hand, it felt like it was like in top gear. They both moved at the same time. That's what it felt like. But in fact, when you indeed putting the Tipex on, no, indeed they were moving at totally different speeds in different gears. So I know it's working. I've got a little bit of stiffness in neutral for some reason. Hopefully that might work. When the bike starts and runs a bit, hopefully that might sort itself out. So I've just put the rear chain on, which of course means loosening all the back wheel and everything, because of course we're going to be tightening the primary chain, and this being pre-unit, so we'll have to tighten the primary chain and then tighten the rear chain, because obviously they're both they're interlinked. One thing that I have done as well, this is the breather for the crankcase breather, which I've always had problems with. And when I bought the bike, the breather sort of just came out by the chain, which I think is where it should do. And it's supposed to just drip feed oil onto the chain, which makes sense. But as Frank, who I bought the bike from, will testify, that was okay. But whenever you park the bike and you put it on the side stand, then oil would pour out of it. Now, I think there's probably ultimately something wrong with the crankcases for that to happen, because you can see how high up the crankcase the breather is. But anyway, that's what was happening. So what I did was, to get around that problem, I ran the breather pipe all the way up and through the back, underneath the rear mud guard, and I had it coming out here, so it could just because there was a bit of that worked, because when you park the bike it didn't pour out anymore. But when you were riding along, you did indeed get a little bit of froth and that coming out, which is what you would expect from a breather. That's what it's there for. The problem with that is, A, it kept lubricating my rear stand catch, so the rear stand kept falling down. And B, I left a annoying little bit of oil on the ground wherever I went, which I wasn't happy about. Only a little bit, but it was just a bit annoying. So I've come up with this idea, which is very anachronistic, of a catch tank. So the breather now flows into the catch tank, and so it should go in there, and then I can empty the catch tank as needs be. That's the plan. So it's a bit anachronistic to have a fairly modern catch tank, but I didn't know what else to do really. I've just got to tie the pipe out the way, obviously. It's got to be sorted, but I think the main problem is there's something wrong with the crankcases, because why, when you leave it on the side stand, oil pours out? I don't know. Then we very loosely fitted the dynamo, hurrah! But that in itself was a bit difficult, because it only just clears the adjuster nut on the gearbox. I had to put that right in, and then I found out I had to take off this grease nipple, because and for a minute I thought it wasn't going to go past the clutch cable, bit there, but it does. Phew! I was just for a minute before I realised it was just the grease nipple, and then I thought, oh no, it's that as well. But you have to move obviously the gearbox sort of all the way forwards. It's not adjusted at the moment. You have to move it all the way forwards, and then I could just slide it in past this sort of lug there. So and I've got the I tapped the I ran a tap up this new adjusting clamp bolt for the dynamo, and so that's now got a new thread on it. I'll put a picture on here somewhere of that happening. The dynamo, don't mention that to me, just loosely fitted because I've got to just get the exact position, and I will mark it so that I will know exactly how far sideways it goes. So next job is I'm going to put the primary chain case on and build up the primary chain case. Okay, so I've managed to get the inner cover on, inner chain case cover on, and fitted the all-important dynamo chain. Okay, and I've discovered that the fitting is just inside of the sort of outer casing. Now I know that that's the sort of horizontal position to prevent this being fitted too far in and therefore catching on the primary chain, which is what happened. So that's adjusted, but I'll probably readjust it later. And then I'm just starting to fit the the primary chain, etc. Because what I'm going to do is I've decided, right, the way that this bike is designed is that you put this plate on first and then the clutch. You put the chain wheel on, but then you have to fit this and then you put the clutch over the top of this, so that if you ever want to get the outer chain case off, then you have to take all the clutch off. You have to take the dome cover that goes on here off, take the clutch off, and then take this off. And that's probably another reason for not having the dynamo chain done properly. If I'd have been able to get this cover off dead easy, I could have checked that gap and how close it was to the primary chain, but because I had to faff about to get that cover off, I didn't bother, and the chain was too close. The two chains were too close to each other, and disaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this lip off, because I run the chain case dry. I just lubricate the chains with chain oil, and that's about it. A bit of grease and that on the shock absorber here, and that's about it, because the clutch doesn't need oil, and so because I only do a few miles, it's fine. So I'm going to cut this off so that I can take this outer casing on and off without having to remove the clutch. So that's why I'm going ahead fitting this now, because I know that I'll be able to put the outer casing on later on. And I've just put the chain round just to make sure that I've got enough clearance on the casing, which I have, because this, of course, this engine sprocket is 2 teeth bigger than the original to up the gearing. And I wasn't quite sure I'd have enough clearance, but I do, so I'm very happy. Whew. So I'm just covering this in grease at the moment so that I can start sticking the roller bearings onto the shaft, which will then take the sort of drive ring. Okay, so I'll carry on doing that for a bit, but we're getting there bit by bit. Right, there we are. Got there's 22 little roller bearings all packed in with grease, and then I slid the chain wheel on over them. Just turn it around, and so there we are. What I'm going to do is just absolutely pack it full of grease and then put this outer like washer on, and then I can start bolting the whole thing together, and hope that it won't I won't disturb it. But I'll pack it full of grease because, of course, as I've just said, I'm going to be running this dry, the chain case dry, and the one thing that really does need grease are these roller bearings. They need lubrication rather, so I'll pack them full of grease. It should be okay.